Welcome to the space weather. We do it daily here, looking at the sun at 304 angstroms. During this geomagnetic storm condition, we see a large plasma filament rising here in the northeast. Let's look at some more views. Here's a 193 angstroms view. Some more diffuse coronal holes rotating in here toward the south. Let's move on to more data. But first, let's talk about supporting our channel. The best way to do that is via Patreon, as we put up exclusive early release content for our viewers. So please join there at the new $9.99 level. We're going to be coming out with cutting edge stuff daily, as we do most days. You could also support us on PayPal, or perhaps the Hemp Lucid Spaced Out campaign if you're in the market for CBDs, specifically formulated for our spaced out viewers. So again, if you're in the market for CBDs, check out the Hemp Lucid Spaced Out campaign. All of this stuff is linked below the video. So just click on that and click on the links and benefit your life and our channel and the production of these videos. So looking at the real-time solar wind here, phi angle right at 180, indicating a coronal hole magnetic connection to the Earth. Solar wind density has been pretty flat here, 3.61 protons, but the real story is the solar wind speed. Check it out, 740 kilometers per second. So the high-speed coronal hole wind stream continues, sparking geomagnetic storm conditions and massive auroras. This one located in Fairbanks, Alaska. Check that out if you like. That one is linked at spaceweather.com. Next, we're going to look at the magnetosphere movies. First, the density. And we do see some striations in density there. And on the equatorial plane, you can totally see the tilt of the magnetosphere. And next, we'll look at pressure. And this is 4 hours of data. And we see a very high pressure there induced by that 700 plus kilometer per second solar wind. Next, we're going to look at ground geospace magnetic perturbations. And we've got some. Pretty much global current flow here happening. And I would look into news stories today about power outages. Again, we have massive auroras here, so lots of stuff going on. The KP is still at 5, and to reiterate, we did reach a KP of 6 yesterday. Moving on. Here's the ionosphere movie. We actually see a pretty discharged nighttime side. We did see some charging hazards too due to a high electron flux yesterday. We'll talk about it in a minute. Here's the latest image on the F2 ionosphere layer. For you new viewers out there, I would note that these red spots are F0. That's just an F layer, as it is not charged up enough to be the F2 layer. But it's really pretty discharged on the day and nighttime sides right now, believe it or not. We did see a couple little striations here in the X-ray flux, almost reached a B-class flare there, and we haven't seen one of those since July 7th. There's that dip in the electron flux, and we did see it reach very high levels here late in the day yesterday, and now a characteristic drop-off, typical of a coronal hole wind stream. For you new viewers out there, keep in mind the N's and M's, those are local time for the satellite, so it's just midnight right now for the GOES 14, and GOES 15 is about to experience midnight. And we do typically see this dip in the electron flux during coronal hole wind streams. Here's where stuff's located in the solar system. Milky Way galaxy, team for the win. And there's where things will be in 1 week. Now, again, we did see some action on the X-ray there, the GOES X-ray monitor. Here's the GOES X-ray imager on the GOES 14. And we do see some areas with a little bit of activity there. Although nothing resembling a sunspot, there is a little bit of activity rising, which we'll look at on stereo A in a minute, so stay tuned for that. First, we'll look at the GOES magnetometer and the Gong 2, which we see is spiky and all over the place, as you would expect from that corona hole wind stream. Here's the Gong 2. This data 1 hour and 5 minutes old, and we do see a bit of a magnetic battle going on here, approaching the stereo A region, which is why we're going to look at it. And there's a stereo A scenario. This is the last 2 days. And we do see a little activity rising there. Could be a sunspot. Not totally sure yet, as the view is not quite good enough. It looks like it's very close to the equator, an indication that it's probably a cycle 24 sunspot, if indeed it is. During this ultra early edition, I like to know what's going on above my head. And there's where it is. There's where stuff is. If you check out in-the-sky.org sky map, you can even figure out stuff like when Cygnus will set. Deneb is set to set around 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. our time. Meanwhile, just after that, there's going to be a big cosmic pileup in the sky where you will have Mercury, the Sun, Mars, and the Moon all up at the same time. Do the earthquake rundown. First, we see a 4.6 in the Philippines. Move this map to the way I like it. There we go. 4.6 at Taiwan. 4.9 at the British Virgin Islands. Adding insult to injury. Bahamas is going to get hammered today, by the way. Hurricane Dorian. Now planning to make landfall around South Carolina. And South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia are expected to get 20+ inches of rain. Not a welcome thing. Here's a 5.0 at the Philippines. As we are still in an earthquake 7 magnitude drought. 5.6 at Burma. Is it Myanmar or is it Burma? Jay Peterman, if you're watching the video, please leave a comment. Here's a 5.0 at the South Sandwich Islands. Another quake at Taiwan, a 4.5 magnitude. 4.6 at the Philippines. A 5.2 at the East Pacific Rise, out west of the southernmost portion of South America. Here's a 4.2 at Italy. Not every day you see a quake there. 5.5 at the East Pacific Rise. Here's a 5.0 at Haines, Alaska. Let's check out the location of this one on the interactive map. Looks like it's located near Glacier Bay National Park. Here's the zoom out of that. And let's look at more stuff. Like this 4.7 at the Philippines. This one taking place about an hour and a half ago. And let's look at the windy.com pressure map. Obviously, we have a very low pressure system approaching the Bahamas. Again, the Bahamas will get hammered today. Getting hammered now, in fact, as this thing has turned into a Category 4. Let's see what Windy's Euro model suggests will happen. Zoom out one click here. Looks like it's going to loiter over the Bahamas, according to the Euro model. And rather than show more models, we'll just zoom out here. Here we are about midway through Monday. If you're wondering what the pressure will be like during your Labor Day celebrations, there's a scenario. And let's move on to the volcano rundown. Shivaluch, still producing a 12,000 foot ash plume and exploding. Mount Aso, volcanic ash cloud unknown. Tucono, continuous emissions and explosions, producing a 6,000 foot ash plume there. Popocatépetl, 20,000 foot ash plume and explosions there. Fuego, volcanic ash not seen in satellite imagery. Sangay, exploding. Excuse me, 17,000 foot ash plume there. Revenador, volcanic ash has dissipated in satellite. Sabancaya, intermittent puffs and explosions. 25,000 foot ash plume there. And please do not pole vault Nevados de Chilean as it's producing explosions and a 13,000 foot ash plume. Here's Dorian on null school. And we are looking at surface winds. Let's zoom out. Look at the jet streams as we do most days. Flight level 25,000. And there's the Western world in terms of jet stream. Some interesting and powerful systems there in the northern Atlantic. I see a powerful low up there, a high-level powerful low, and an anticyclone right next to it, being spun up by the jet stream. And here's the eastern world. Very powerful jet stream in the south, extreme meridional jet stream flow in the north, and convective patterns are largely ruling the world in the Arctic Circle once again, as that is hardly even a jet stream. Here's a U.S. Doppler radar. Let me zoom it out so you can see timestamps. Some strong storms near southern Lake Michigan. And here's the shortwave radiation map here. You can see the current track of Dorian. It looks like it's actually really stalling there quite a bit. Let's look at a zoomed-in view. And here's a zoomed-in view, the shortwave NASA GOES interactive weather satellite. The shortwave radiation map, we use this to see what clouds look like at nighttime, folks. So just do a DuckDuckGo search for the NASA GOES interactive weather satellite if you want to follow this stuff yourself. We do see some abnormalities there. You see that it looks a little sparkly. That is caused by that electron flux. There have been some satellite charging hazards. And here's the latest from the water vapor perspective. Again, it's going to slam right into the Bahamas there. And fortunately, this dry air that's all around it, this dry mass of air, this is African dust, actually. This is going to actually weaken the storm. And we see the eye wall looking a little bit less organized as how it looked yesterday. So it's not particularly strengthening, but it is going to stall. And it's going to be bad times for the Bahamas, for real. Beach erosion, storm surge, damaging winds, all that. Next, we're going to show the total precipitation forecast here. This is the GFS model. Looks like they're predicting about a foot of rain there in the northernmost portion of the Bahamas. And then Dorian's going to make a sudden right turn, plowing into South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, where about 20 inches of rain are predicted for those areas. If you are located there, frankly, I would leave if I were you until this hits. Now, this is through, let's see, that's through Saturday, September 7th there. So this thing is going to be an issue for a long time, and all of these forecasts are subject to change, folks. And we're going to have to integrate the that is sensor, and that is a hole in the ground section because there's not a lot else to cover. Susan Wojcicki claims that YouTube says it's Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube, says it's more important than ever to be an open platform one day after a massive banning spree. Oh yeah, thanks, Susan. If you're watching the video, Susan, please leave a comment. As we're never censored here. Oh no, never censored, and we're never concerned about YouTube banning us, demonetizing our videos, and shadow banning us so that our channel and videos are basically impossible to find on that search engine that everybody seems to want to use as a verb. If you'd like to read the letter that she wrote on Tuesday, August 27th, well, we've got links to that in the description below the video, as well as the article about this claim that YouTube is just going to be so open and it's totally not going to censor you. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Smash Team. Were you aware that Google is a scam and not a verb? I don't know if you were aware, but we're more than happy to inform you. Were you aware that big tech can't break the internet, but the internet can break big tech? Companies like Google, Facebook, Apple, and Twitter aren't in control of the internet. People are in control of the internet, not these heaving zombie organizations that are completely unable to even get out of their own way, much less write code. Were you aware that we're on Facebook? That's facebook.com/smAsho. Check us out there. Shadow bans galore. Check us out on Instagram, where we rail on YouTube practically every day. And we congratulate Pearl Azumi for sending us some awesome socks.
Ah, yes. I'd like to take another opportunity to just talk about the way Google has ruined a great organization known as YouTube. So they purchased YouTube in 2006. And right now,
Also, check us out on Twitter. If you've got friends who only use Twitter, it's their only social media, share our videos there. Perhaps on Gab. Check out yesterday's thumbnail. It's got Jack Dorsey's beautiful, beautiful face, as his Twitter account got hacked a couple of days ago. Also on Minds, which is the future of social media. It's open source. It won't censor you. It won't shadow ban you. Minds.com/smAsho. Help us get to 500,000 views, as looks like we've lost about 12 subscribers in the past couple days. Again, minds.com/smAsho. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Please become a patron. Become our latest patron on patreon.com/smAsho, as there's exclusive content coming out there all the time. And if you want the early releases, that's the way to get it. Also, if you enjoy the content here on YouTube, it is our main host as of now. So please press like and subscribe if you enjoy the content here. Press that notification bell, and you may even get notifications when we put up a video. Lastly, thanks, Smash Team, for all of your hard work and your views and your comments and your ability to discern the truth from a bunch of lies and nonsense. Check it out, bonuses. Cosmic Ray Rundown. Here's the Apatity Neutron Monitor. Here's a Barentsburg Neutron Monitor. Here's the Athens, Greece Neutron Monitor. Wondering what the cosmic ray situation is like in Mexico City? Well, there it is. How about Moscow? There's a situation in Moscow. We saw a very large spike on August 29th. And not too far from Moscow is Oulu, Finland. There's the scenario there. Here's DOMC Antarctica. Here's DOMB Antarctica. Sending back no data. And stay tuned for one more bonus feature. It's my personal favorite view. The sun and 171 angstroms. And we do see a little bit of activity rising. This could become a sunspot anytime, folks. We're going to zoom in on that, and then we were going to close it out on this ultra early edition. Enjoy your Labor Day picnics. Most people have their Labor Day picnics on Sunday, not on Labor Day Monday. Please leave a comment. Tell us what you're having. I think we're doing burgers, dogs, potato salad. I'm not sure what else. Remember, when you're staring at the sun, don't drink. And if you drink, stare at the sun anyway. Have one for us. Don't drive. Seriously, don't drive. And since it'll never be now again, may the solar wind be at your back and the atherosclerosis absent from your veins.